It's Monday, and we aren't always excited about Mondays for some reason, but it's back to work, back to life, back to school, whatever the case is for you. And we're excited. It's a new week, and we ought to have a little bit of passion and hunger and thirst in our life for that which is new and a new day that God gives us. His mercies are new every day. It's a new week to accomplish something for the Lord. And so I want to encourage you. We so often think about, Sunday is the Lord's day and then Monday's the boss's day, or what I do for the Lord is religious and then the rest of the week is secular. But Terry and I were recently reading together a devotional from Andy Stanley, and it talks about your vision. And God sees you and I as one complete whole being. That's the way He created us. So He doesn't delineate between the spiritual and the secular, what happens Sunday versus what happens Monday. God sees your life, my life, as one whole entity. And so everything is intermingled together, like a giant bowl of spaghetti, if you will. He sees what we do spiritually as influencing what we do physically, and He sees what we do physically as influencing what we do spiritually. And so that brings me to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10 this morning. We famously know about Ephesians 2, 8, and 9. We're saved by faith through grace, not of works, lest any man should boast. But let's not forget verse 10. What a powerful verse. And I want to read it in a little bit of a different version, I think of the New Living Translation, just for the emphasis on one particular word. For we are God's workmanship is typically how we've heard it, King James, New King James, other versions. But here's what the word is in the New Living, and I love this. For we are God's masterpiece. You might think of a masterpiece as some particular famous artwork, painting, something that has high value. Well, that's exactly what God's trying to communicate to us in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Let me read the rest of it. For we are His workmanship, or masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do good things He planned for us long ago. Isn't it awesome to think about the fact that God, in the beginning, knew your name, knew your life, knew the tragedies, and yet He still planned something awesome for your life and mine? Well, I want to take you with that thought, and this week we're going to look at several different aspects of that. So if your life and my life is a masterpiece, let's think of it as in a painting. Van Gogh or Da Vinci, some famous painter that the world knows, and yet God is a better artist with a better plan, and He has your life and every aspect of it work together into a masterpiece called life. And He's using some of the dark backgrounds, some of the things that you and I would rather ignore, overlook, not share with others, and even forget about. And those dark backgrounds are what He is using to highlight the awesome, wonderful things that He's doing in your life to bring about glory. Working all things together for good, Romans 8. And so those deep, dark secrets or deep, dark failures or those deep, dark hurts from your past is what God is actually using to illuminate something awesome that He is working out for His good. And so let's read that together again, Ephesians 2, verse 10. For we are God's workmanship, or masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ. It reminds me of 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. There's the dark, the ugly. Behold, all things have become new. There's the brilliant, vibrant colors. of what God's trying to accomplish, and he's setting that good on the background of something dark so that we can do good things he has planned for us long ago. And so I want to take you through a couple different ideas of what this has. And let me read to you a quote from an author, Dr. Ken Nichols. He wrote a book called The Masterpiece. And he said this: the more we experience the depths and heights of God's affection, we'll more fully appreciate his transforming brushstrokes. There's the masterpiece on the canvas of our lives. And so let me share 3 thoughts with you today. First of all, God knows even the worst about us, and he still loves us. So we no longer have to hide our secrets from him. You know, we keep secrets that unfortunately really don't amount to a lot of things. And yet with God, he knows it all anyhow. He sees through us. And those transparent, honest moments with God bring us into a more intimate relationship with him. Here's a second thought. New confidence in God's purpose for our life gives us hope even when things don't go the way we'd hope they would go. A new confidence in God's purpose. You are his masterpiece. Those brushstrokes of life that we so often overlook is what's coming together for God to do something great. I recently watched probably YouTube, I don't know, maybe it was Facebook, but it was an artist painting a live painting right in the middle of a halftime, I think, at maybe a basketball game. And brush strokes were broad and bold and colorful, and it really just didn't make sense at all. And till the very end, he took the painting and he turned it over. He had painted the whole thing upside down, and nobody could see what he was painting until the very last brush stroke. And then he flipped it over, and this beautiful portrait came alive. And you know what? God is at work, and we don't always see what he's doing, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. But in the end, it will become vibrantly clear what God was doing in your life. And then the last one for today, and we'll share more of these as the week goes. Criticism no longer crushes us. When we are confident in what God is doing and what he has called us to do, criticism no longer crushes us. We're more resilient, and we actually welcome input from others. And I know recently I secondhand got some criticism, and it was like, serious? Are you serious about this? And it really just hurt my feelings, when in reality it made me go a little deeper, think a little bit more about the subject, and define, why did God call me to be a pastor? What is my purpose in Sunday morning ministry? And why do we preach Christ crucified? And as Colossians 1:28 say, him we proclaim so that we can present others perfect or spiritually mature in Christ. And so be confident in what God is doing in your life this week. Look at that focus. He is the master artist with a masterpiece at work. It is your life, and he is doing something great for you. And so God bless you this week. I will be sharing more with this particular topic as the week goes on.